The last type of problem you're likely to be asked about particle motion is a graph. So a lot of times it is the graph velocity, but pay attention that sometimes it could be position or acceleration. So we are assuming that the positive direction is to the right. So this asks on what interval of time is the object moving to the right, and justify our answer. So moving to the right means when is velocity positive. So when I look at my graph here, the velocity, that is the y value of this graph. V is this graph. So that's just above the x-axis. So the object is moving to the right for t between 4 and 10, since our velocity is greater than 0. When is the object speeding up? So that means v of t and a of t, which is b prime of t, have the same signs. So either that means v is positive and increasing, its slope is positive as well, or v is negative and decreasing. So if I look here at my graph where it's negative, my velocity is negative, but staying constant, and then negative, and then increasing, so that's not going to work. Then I switch to positive and increasing, positive and constant, positive and decreasing. So it's only going to be this interval here where my velocity is positive and the slope of velocity is positive. So I can say the object is speeding up on the interval from 4 less than t less than 6, since v of t is positive and increasing. And if you want to go a little bit further, so v of t and a of t have the same signs. Now, if you're in AP Physics, you might hear about the explanation. If you're looking at a graph of velocity, you're speeding up. If you're moving away from the x-axis, this works here. And you're slowing down if you're going towards the x-axis. So like here and here, I'd be slowing down. C asks, how fast is the object moving at time t equals 3 and in what direction? So v of 3, that's really what it's asking for, is, if I check the y value here, -5. Pay attention that's -5 and not -1. And so then I can say the object is moving left at a rate of 5, whatever it is, units per time. So usually that could be like meters per second or something like that. So D asks, when is the object slowing down? So this is kind of the opposite of what we talked about in B. So I'd be looking for my velocity to be positive and decreasing, or negative and increasing. And so we already kind of talked about that. That would be for t between 2 and 4, because I was negative and increasing. And I'm just going to say there a of t is greater than 0. And also for t between 8 and 10, since v of t is negative, sorry, not negative, is positive, and increasing. So that would mean a of t, sorry, I keep messing this up, positive and decreasing. That's what happens when I don't have the graph right in front of me. A of t is less than 0. Now, again, when it asks when is velocity increasing, that's just asking where is acceleration greater than 0. So that's when am I looking at this graph and the velocity is actually increasing. I can actually see that on this graph. The velocity is increasing between t equals 2 and 6, since v prime of t is greater than 0. Or you can say slope of v of t is positive. F, on what intervals does the object move at a constant speed? So I'm just looking for that slope of 0 where it's horizontal. So the object moves at a constant speed for t between 0 and 2 and t between 6 and 8. If you look at the graph, that's where it's horizontal. So since the slope of v of t is 0, or v of t is horizontal.